The Grand Prix of France in Paris is the fourth of 6 events in the ISU's Grand Prix of Figure Skating series, and it's an important one, especially for some of the biggest names in Canadian figure skating. Hello, everyone. I'm Brenda Irving, along with the 4-time world champion Kurt Browning. And Kurt, for the top skaters in the world, the mission is clear: make it to that Grand Prix final in Korea in December, and just 6 from each discipline will go. And right now, several Canadians on track to do that. One of them, the Canadian champion Joanne Rochette, and she has been skating unbelievably so far this season.
She's having a great year, and what she's doing, I think, that's different is that she's taking that good package, that great product in practice, and starting to display it more often in the competitive arena, and that is really providing with some great results. And she's going to need it. This is a great event. She's up against Mao Asada, the reigning world champion, and I'm glad, you know what, I'm glad she's going to be going up against her early in the season and not meeting her for the first time at the World Championships. It'll be a good situation for Joanne.
And a podium finish for another Canadian could also mean a trip to the Grand Prix final. I'm talking about the man you see there, Toronto's Patrick Chan, who won Skate Canada a little bit earlier in the season.
Well, when you talk about Patrick, it's all positive because he had great talents as a young skater, and well, he's still young. He's only 17. There's nothing to rebuild. It's just build on, and I really hope he keeps that momentum going. Like things like this beautiful triple axel.
Well, and this competition is going to provide Patrick with a chance to test his programs against a former world champion, Brian Gilbert of France.
Come on.
Should be interesting.
Yeah. It's always interesting with Brian. I've been looking forward to this competition all year. I think it's the premier event on the Grand Prix series, and this is why Patrick and Gilbert. Gilbert is kind of like a sports car. When he's on, he's unbeatable. He's so strong. But when he's off, put in the wrong gasoline in a sports car and things go wrong. I mean, that's, anyway, he hasn't had trouble in the past like he's had this year, and it'll be interesting to see if he can get over the problems with his skates and things like that.
The Canadian pairs team of Megan DeHamel, Craig Button also here. They're coming off a 4th place finish at Skate America, so it really is going to be a stretch for them to make it to that Grand Prix final.
Oh, well, for them, I think they should just focus on building on the fact that they had a shoulder injury for Craig, and they're a new team. So just keep moving forward and not worry about the Grand Prix final. And that's the same advice that I have for Vanessa Crone and Paul Poirier in the dance event. Vanessa and Paul went to Skate Canada, their first senior Grand Prix, and they come second. Fantastic. But this event is deep. Just keep it in perspective and keep doing what you're doing.
And we are going to have highlights from the pairs and the ice dance competition a little bit later in our broadcast. But when we come back after the break, we'll get right to what should be a thrilling event, the women's competition, as Canada's Joanne Rochette looks to stake a claim to one of 6 spots for women at this year's Grand Prix final. Grand